government should give clarity on internships and skilling priorities and need more self-employment opportunities, says philanthropist and chairman of Upgrad, Ronnie Screwvala, in an exclusive chat with ET Now. Let's listen in.
I would just say, number one, the focus for us at least, and I think for India, is really to create more self-employment opportunities. Second, I think we're done with being an outsourced country. And I think the world is recognizing us for our talent pools, and they're recognizing us for our ability to create intellectual properties. Even the US administration that's just joined in has actually commented on the fact we'd be happy to welcome people from India that can help them grow their prowess there. So I think the number one priority is talent pool improvement. Now, when you're looking at that, because we're not going to be a Viksit Bharat A, and we're not going to be able to get hundreds of billions of dollars of foreign investment unless they actually feel there's this talent pool here that can service the local market and also create great companies and organizations. The startup ecosystem also needs that. So to that level, I think this is where more and more of that focus, I expect in this budget that the finance minister will further clarify some of their internships and the skilling priorities that they've been able to do. Second, education more or less has been GST exempt. But I think today more than ever, the ability that when you are just done with your work life and you want to actually continue with learning through your life, that should be the same category as education across the board. So your forever learning category needs to be expanded, because that's going to give a lot of motivation to a lot of people to skill and learn even more.
Angel tax revocation last year was a big announcement. How much has that changed the funding ecosystem in the country? And secondly, connected to that is the ease of doing business. What is your key ask, given that it still remains a concern?
Firstly, the angel tax required a clarification because it was a capital account versus a revenue account, and I'm glad they clarified that. It took away the context of this thing. Today, if you see, India is becoming a destination for people to list. Everyone's jumping hooplas around the place to relocate and hub their countries in India. So that should be a major takeaway. Nobody wants to be in Singapore, nobody wants to be in the US, they all want to list in India. So this whole reverse merger, I mean, just recently the NCLT did a landmark judgment and actually approved the merger and the reverse merger of the situation. So that is something that I think is going to be very important. Ease of doing business is a nice terminology and it has its overall rankings. But actually, there's a competitive edge, which I would tell almost every startup entrepreneur. You drop ease of this thing to a certain level, and the competitiveness with which you need to be, you don't know which world you're working on. So I'm not saying, therefore, there should not be ease of doing business. I think there's an Indian way of doing that. I think we're in multiple states, we're in multiple markets, we're in multiple price threshold. So I would not over-exaggerate, because the grass always looks green on the other side, it never is. So I think the ability for us to be actually having what I would call a head start in being able to operate in this market is something that most people from overseas actually respect.